Hi folks, my name is Jessie Watson and I am going to be talking about the principle of design, which is unity. There is a lesson on unity in Art Foundations Semester 1, and I believe it's lesson 5.3.1, and I find that a lot of students get confused when they have this lesson. So this is what the assignment looks like when you get to it. It is just sort of a fill in the blank, and you are describing how unity is created in these two pictures. And this is after you've seen some examples with some other descriptions about how unity is created. I think the thing that confuses students the most is how to talk about unity. And when you're talking about unity, you are talking about how the elements and principles create unity. So as a quick review, the elements of art are line, color, shape, value, form, texture, and space. And the principles of design, we have balance, proportion. Unity and harmony are also principles of design. And then there's variety, movement, rhythm and pattern, contrast, and there's also emphasis. So these are some of the key words that you're going to use when you're describing how unity is created. We're going to do just a little bit of practice so you can get an idea of how to complete this assignment. So we're going to start with this picture right here. This is a painting by Pablo Picasso done in the early 1900s. And if you were going to describe how unity was created in this painting, you might simply say, well, I can see that this painting is mostly made out of the same color. There's a lot of blue. So I know that the artist has created unity by using many different shades of blue. Aside from the guitar, this would be considered a monochromatic painting. Remember, monochromatic means one color. If you look at the first sentence I wrote there, unity is created by using different shades of blue color. The highlighted word color, that's one of the elements of art. So those are some of the key words that I'm looking for when you are completing this assignment. I'm looking to see if you can describe how the elements and the principles create unity. The second example is how diagonal lines create unity in this image. And it's not simply lines going diagonally across the painting. It's the diagonal form of the shapes as well. So you can see that the guitar is leaning diagonally, the crossed legs are diagonal, and the arm on the guitar is also diagonal. Having all of these diagonal lines in the painting creates a sense of unity. In this next drawing, this is a drawing done by Aubrey Beardsley called the Peacock Skirt. And in this one, we see a couple of different elements that we can talk about. The first one is lines again, although we talked about line in the other one. But this one has lines the way that you are probably thinking of them. Single lines drawn, not shapes that are filled in. And you can see that there are a lot of curved organic lines in this drawing. Remember the difference between organic and geometric when you're talking about contrast. Organic are the ones that tend to flow and have typically more curved elements to it, and the geometric are the ones, as you would think of geometry, triangles, squares, very angled shapes. You can also see that there's unity in the contrast. This is simply a black and white drawing, and black and white always has a lot of contrast, and that contrast unifies the entire picture. It creates unity within the picture. You can also see unity if you look carefully at some of the shapes. If you sort of look at the shape of the women's hair, the hairdo in particular on the top right-hand corner, and the shape of the other woman's skirt down toward the bottom, they have very similar shapes. And so that's another way that unity is created in this picture. The final example is a painting done by Paul Cézanne. And in this picture, I think the most striking example of unity is in the texture. Cézanne was an impressionist, and impressionists tended to use a lot of texture in their paintings. They would do brush strokes or dots. They didn't typically do a lot of outlining and filling in painting. It was a different artistic movement at the time. So in this one, you can see a lot of the brush strokes look the same. They're sort of like blocks of color or even rectangles of color that are placed side by side and on top of each other. Having the same texture through the entire painting creates a sense of unity. It really brings the whole painting together. It makes it seem like there are no parts that are out of place. Now in this painting, you can also see some unity in the complementary colors. If you recall, complementary colors are the colors that are opposite of each other on the color wheel. So you would have red and green as complementary colors, and you have yellow and violet, and then you have blue and orange. And this painting has mostly blue and orange as the complements. However, if you look in the center section, you also see that there is some green and red also, and they're meant to complement each other as well. So those are just a few examples of how you can describe unity in paintings. Unity is the element that brings everything together. It's sort of the commonality in the painting or the drawing. Remember, unity is what unites it. It brings it together. That's all I have for tonight's presentation. It was very brief. I just wanted to give you an idea of what we were doing. So now I will take any questions if anybody has any. Okay, it looks like there aren't any questions. So thank you for coming tonight, and I hope this helps you complete your assignments.